What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream today. We'll be getting into the latest Arsenal transfer news as we're linked with yet another striker. And, of course, this summer clear-out that apparently is going to happen with a number of players out on loan, potentially leaving the club. Big up to everyone for tuning in as always. Make sure you lick down that like button, people. And listen, what a watch-along we had last night, by the way. For me, probably the best game I've seen in the last couple of years. I would go as far as that. Real Madrid against Manchester City. I think we saw the standard yesterday. And, you know, as an Arsenal fan, I'm watching it going, raw, we're a long way from that. We need to spend a lot of money, that is for sure. But what a game. Benzema chipping the goalkeeper. My head was gone on the stream. I was going crazy. City done their thing as well. Obviously won the game. But I think they'll be a little bit disappointed to win the game 4-3. They dominated the game. I think they could have finished the whole tie yesterday. But Real Madrid kept themselves going, man. Big game indeed. I can't wait for the second leg. Let me slow this down. People flying in already. Let's go into Victor Lindelof mode. I've got to keep trolling these Man United players who we ripped apart at the weekend. I refuse to say Granit Xhaka mode after his 30-yard banger last week. So we'll go into Lindelof mode and we'll review what everyone is saying. Jesus going nowhere. Hey, McLovin, it's out of your hands now, my friend. But the price might have gone up. I can't lie. The price might have gone up. He needs to stop scoring. Fitz said, boy, you love Anelka. Bro, let me tell you. This guy, for me, is one of the most underrated strikers Arsenal have ever had. You go on any channel, any Arsenal channel in the YouTube community, watch them every day, and I guarantee not one person will mention Nicolas Anelka. None of them will mention him. The guy, what a player. I don't know if it's because he played for so many other Premier League clubs that we don't kind of give him that respect at Arsenal, because he played for Liverpool, Bolton, Man City. He played for loads of clubs. This guy, man, he replaced Ian Wright, and Wrighty was special. This guy, man, what a player. Lasuk. Super Nick Anelka. Super. Imagine how much he would be worth now. Man are talking about Alexander Isaac at 75 million. This guy was unbelievable. Goon Jack, big up, bro. He said, big up, Curtis. Do you remember that Anelka really smiled? His pace and Bergkamp passes were a lethal combination. No need to smile, my friend. Silent assassin business this guy was. He would have been better than Henry. I mean, Thierry Henry said himself that Anelka was a better natural striker than him, but just didn't quite develop the same way. Nick said Anelka was a serious baller with lightning pace. Lightning, absolute lightning. Total package. 6 million said even Ian Wright said he knew it was over when he saw Anelka. He knew what time it was, man. When you're getting old and a young whippet comes in like that, it's time to go and find a move elsewhere. Maguala said, big up to you, Curtis. Hope all is well with you and the family. I'm good. Big up everyone watching on Twitch and on YouTube. Big up to all of you. And the C unit in the cut as always. Jashar said, big up Curtis. Anelka was better than Henry. Started off better than Henry, but we all know Thierry went to another level. I was tempted to put Benzema on the green screen. I kind of feel like I should have done it. Because I love him as a player. As you know, I was going absolutely crazy on the watch along. I can't lie. Right, let's get into it today, people. Let's get into it today. Don't forget, 4 o'clock today, we'll be doing a members stream. So get involved in that if you want to come on, have your say. And we haven't done one for, I think, 2 weeks. So I'm hoping the usual suspects plus a few newcomers will turn up for that. The link will be on the community page straight after this stream. So join me for that. And we should do a watch along tonight as well. Should be doing one. Cruiser's got a game tonight. As long as I get back in time, we'll do Liverpool against Villarreal. Let's see if it's a good evening for Unai Emery. Right, let's get into the latest Arsenal news. Let's start with Gabriel Jesus. It's Daily Jesus. Daily Jesus. Daily Gabriel, he's linked with us every day. We saw him last night. He played well. He scored. Maybe the price went up by a few million again. When he scored, I was excited. I was like, yes, he scored. Then I was like, no, I don't want him to score because Pep's going to keep him, or Pep's going to go, I want 50 million, or Pep's going to go, I'm going to keep you. We need to get this deal tied up if this is a player that we want to sign. It will be an interesting one. It will be an interesting one. It's a funny one, right? I asked this question on Saturday on the stream. Would you want Jesus? And people were a little bit like, nah, take him. I wouldn't be that excited about it. All of a sudden, he goes and smashes 4 goals against Watford, scores against Real Madrid and starts. And all of a sudden, the whole fan base wants him now. Listen, I've said what I've said before, and I think a lot of you are in a similar scenario. I don't think there's a lot of good value in this transfer market to get strikers. People are having one half-decent season in an average league, and you're talking about 70 million. Gabriel Jesus is a Brazilian international. He's a Premier League winner, FA Cup winner, League Cup winner, number of caps for Brazil. He clearly can score goals if you create chances. My problem with him is he is limited in what he can do. He's not the biggest. He's not the strongest. He's not the quickest. He has very good movement if you create chances. Now, he's playing for Manchester City. They're the kings of creating chances. I don't think there's a team in world football that creates more than them. He's not going to get the same amount of chances at Arsenal, but he's never had the chance to be the number one striker at City. He's always played second fiddle to Aguero. This year, they've played with no striker. I think he could score more goals if he was first choice. For 30 million, I don't think you could turn it down. I think the value's too good. As I've said before, I think you have to sign a second striker if you sign him. I don't think you could solely rely on him if we was in the Champions League. I would love to see a Nunes or somebody else come in as well. Jashar has become a member. Big up your damn self, bro. Listen, I'm sure you've been a member before. Maybe you've rejoined, but big up to you, bro. Hope to see you on the member stream. Invest with Dre said, Big C, been watching for a while. How do I become a member? You should just be able to click the join button next to the subscribe button. If you're on an iPhone, sometimes it doesn't work on an Apple device. I think you have to click on desktop version on your phone or go on a laptop or an Android device. I don't know what the problem is, but yeah, there seems to be a problem there. And big up Garbo for becoming a member. Appreciate the support, bro. Hope to see you at 4 o'clock on the member stream. Give me your thoughts on Gabby Jesus. Chris Wheatley has written here, people. Arsenal are preparing a €42 million offer for Manchester City striker Gabriel Jesus. It equates to around £35 million for Jesus. I don't think City could demand much more because they got £35 million for Leroy Sané when he had a year left. Also, come on, Pep. Do a favour to your boy. He's put out enough cones. He's filled up enough water bottles. Get him to Arsenal. I'll take him, but get another striker with him. Econ Wizard said, past 2 games have changed my mind. Shameless. You know how many people yesterday were like, oh, he scored against Real Madrid. Get him to the carpet. Get him to the carpet. Recency bias is a real thing, that is for sure. Apologies, microphone falling all over the place. Might have mashed up your headphones. But yeah, he scores against Real Madrid. All of a sudden, everybody wants him. Jesus and Origi up front. Yeah, I've said many times, man, I'd take Divock on a free. To get those two in for 30-odd million, Origi would be a free. But we haven't been linked with him, and I think Origi's going AC Milan. Joey said Jesus and Martinez would be 2 good signings. I'd take that. I think most of us would take that, to be honest. Downgraded, then upgraded. Yeah, man, do what you got to do, bro. I appreciate it. I should be doing a watch-along tonight. Time dependent. Crew's got a game. If I get back, I will. So keep an eye out on your notifications for that one, people. Us fans are fickle. Listen, I'm shameless with it. You know me, people. You know me. I don't even hide from it. Jesus is sensible but not exciting. We won't be running to the club shop to put his name on the back of the shirt, but it's certainly a signing that makes sense. You know, it really does. Big up FBM for becoming a member. Appreciate your support, bro. Welcome to the community. I know you've been in here before anyway. Jesus and Origi or Tammy. Tammy's too expensive. They want £80 million from him, and he ain't worth that. I'd take Jesus with Toney, perhaps. We are going to talk about Ivan Toney shortly as well. Which is definitely one that we could definitely talk about. Emmanuel said, am I a member? I've not seen or heard my chat acknowledged for the past 2 weeks. Yeah, you're here, bro. Do you know what? I haven't seen your comments. Apologies. But yeah, you're still there, bro. No, we're not ignoring you. Don't worry about that. McLovin saying, could you take Raheem Sterling as well? Listen, we'll take him off your hands. Don't worry. Do us a favour, take Sterling and we keep Jesus. So all of a sudden, City fans want Jesus now. Let's move on to another part of this story that is interesting. We spoke about Pepe yesterday, but this story has come out now. It said Arsenal will hold talks with club record signing Nicolas Pepe over his future at the end of the season. Arsenal are interested in signing 2 strikers. This is something we've been talking about. We need to get 2 strikers in my opinion. A lot of you have said the same thing. One of which would likely to be able to play out wide, and that would further impact Pepe's lack of opportunities. So, does he see Gabriel Jesus as the striker / wide player? He's played right wing a lot for City this season. And then you go and get your centre forward, whether that's your Núñez, your Osimhen, your, I don't know, Jonathan David, whoever they go for. Does this mean Jesus could be that striker that can play out wide? Young Nizzle makes a great point. What opportunities? Saw a stat, like I said yesterday, people, that Pepe hasn't started a game since November. Now, I say it, as I said it yesterday, some people thought I was being a bit harsh. Pepe, for me, is good enough to be at Arsenal. The reason the club are looking to sell him is because of how much they paid for him. If we paid 20 million for Nicolas Pepe, there'd be no panic. 2 years left on his deal, 20 million, keep him. He's a good option. Because they paid 72 million, this is a ticking time bomb. And the club are panicking. They're saying, you can't let a £72 million player run down his deal and leave for nothing. So that's the problem. I just think, as we said yesterday, people, this is my problem with Pepe being sold. Pepe got 23 goal contributions last season, right? 17 goals in all comps, 6 assists, 23 goals. More goal contributions than Saka, Smith Rowe and Martinelli, who are lauded by the fan base. Now, I get it. They're young. They came through the system. Martinelli was signed when he was young. So I understand the expectation level is different. But why did he get 23 goal contributions and then this season you haven't started him for nearly 6 months? Is he that bad? Have we been that good this season that he can't get a look in? Now, I understand Arteta plays a certain way and Pepe probably doesn't suit it. But if I was the Kroenkes, I would also be turning around to Arteta and saying, bro, you've made him worse. You've made him less valuable. Because if I want Pepe, I'm coming to Arsenal and I'm going, I'll give you 15 million for him. 20 million max. Take it or leave it. He's got 2 years left. I know you're desperate to sell him. He's on 130 grand a week. We're going to get absolutely bumped. We probably won't even get 25 million for him. If we'd played him and rotated him and he scores and he gets himself 10 goals this season and someone comes in for him, we can act like it's somebody that we want, but we'll sell him if you pay the right price. Right now, we look desperate to sell him. So we're going to get bumped even further. So on one hand, I think people can say, right, Pepe hasn't been good enough for Arsenal for 72 million. And I agree with that to a certain extent. We should have signed Zaha. I think that's clearly obvious. On the other hand, I would say, to say Arteta is this great coach, apparently, and did so well with Sterling and Leroy Sané, how come he hasn't been able to get anything out of Nicolas Pepe? How come the guy contributed 23 goals last season, yet he hasn't played since November this season? I think he's done too much turning against him. I think he could have still used him, kept him involved, got him scoring and contributing. Then you sell him with some value. Right now, his value is on the floor. So I think this whole discussion will involve Gabriel Jesus. Maybe we get Jesus and a striker through the middle, which I think would be good business, to be honest, if we get the right one. Pepe is finished. Let it go, Arsenal fans. Yeah, I've said many times, people, I don't get too caught up on Arsenal players. I really don't. I've seen better players leave, so I don't care that much. But while this guy's at Arsenal, I do care about the player and the way he's been handled, because he maybe could have contributed to us doing even better this season. He's still here till the end of the season. So I am going to look at him. Poor attitude. But the thing is, Arteta was in the press conference last week saying his attitude's been brilliant, how well he's training. So is it an attitude? I think it's too easy to just go, Pepe's got an attitude problem. Pepe's lazy. Based on what? Where is the evidence to suggest that he's lazy? Where's the evidence to suggest that he's got a bad attitude? I think it's something that people just say as a way of saying he's not good enough. Nobody has said that his attitude is wrong. I've never heard that. I've never heard that he doesn't put the effort in on the pitch. I just think it's a clash of system, but I think Arteta should have got more out of him. I got to be honest. Nathan, thank you for your kind donation, bro. Appreciate the support. He said, I'm gutted it hasn't worked out for Pepe. There is a top player in there. He has been mismanaged. He gets benched after coming on and scoring goals. I remember how gassed I was when we signed him. We'll move on, though. Yeah, we will move on. I think it's a shame because I think he's a goal scorer. Nowadays, goal-scoring wingers are what people want. And we have three very inexperienced wingers at the moment in Saka, Martinelli and Smith-Rowe, who are all doing very well and all very good players. But I think we've totally wasted this guy. I think he has to look at himself a little bit as well. I think Pepe will have to look in the mirror and say, you know what? When I have played, have I produced enough? Have I had enough big moments at Arsenal? How many big games has Pepe scored the winner against Man City or against Liverpool or against Chelsea or scored an equaliser? How many big moments? What would be his standout moment? If I said to you now, next year when Pepe leaves, what would you look back on as his biggest moment at Arsenal? I'd say one of his biggest moments, probably scoring 2 goals, 2 free kicks in the Europa League when Unai Emery was in charge, So has he done enough? But I do think he has been slightly mismanaged. I think a different manager could have got more out of him. He's probably been a little bit unfortunate that the guy in front of him, Bukayo Saka, is seen as the star man of the club right now. So he doesn't get a chance. But I still think he should have got more game time. No start since November is ridiculous, whether you rate him or not. I'm sure Rob Holding started, El Neni started, Tavares has started. How on earth has Pepe not started a game since November? It's crazy. The free kicks, people are saying, it's the manager, Curtis says, Dre. I agree on that one. Wolves' last-minute winner was a big moment for him. Obviously, he scored the equaliser and then set up the winner. Assist in the FA Cup semi-final, had a great game in that semi-final. But like I said, the 2 free kicks in the Europa League, and that's not a big moment, really. Darren said Pepe doesn't speak English in 3 years. Gabriel has an English tutor. And these are the things as well, where you do have to look at yourself. Pepe, you come to this country. If you're going to completely buy into everything here, they've got the money, they've got the time. Learn the language as quick as possible. Now, I know it's not as simple as that. I don't speak another language fluently, so I know it's not that easy. But Gabriel speaks reasonable English from what I've heard, and he's been at the club less time than Pepe. So it is what it is. It's sad, but he's there until the end of the season at least. So let's hope between now and the end of the season he can at least contribute something. Maybe we get a little bit more money from him if he leaves. Pepe has no ball retention. I think no ball retention is too far. I do think he lacks aggression. I always said that he's a counter-attacking winger. He likes to run onto the ball. He likes to get in shooting positions. He's not an amazing dribbler. He's not a guy like Zaha. You just give him the ball to feet and say, go and run at people. He's not that. He likes to get on the end of passes. And I think he's a good finisher, but we just don't play like that. So, I think Saka blew up at the wrong time for him. Otherwise, he may have got more game time. But I think listen, for me, it's a combination of Pepe and Arteta. But, a manager's always going to win that battle. Conte and Poch swapping roles. Rumours today, interestingly enough, that Antonio Conte's agent has approached PSG about taking that job. That would be interesting if he walked out in the summer, and it wouldn't surprise me because you can tell Conte's not that happy at Tottenham, really. Roger Douglas said, big up Big C in the community. Please remember that Arteta is only interested in players he feels he can control and handle. 100%. This summer window, as his job is constantly under scrutiny by the fans. And that's something that he's going to have to change, because if you get in the Champions League, you can't keep buying, no disrespect, but Aaron Ramsdales, who are happy to be here. You can't keep buying Ben Whites from lower clubs. Eventually, you're going to have to go and sign somebody from Real Madrid, from Barcelona, from PSG, with a big ego, a big attitude. Can you handle them? You know, so that is something that he's going to have to prove if he stays at the club this summer. Curtis, if you were the owner of our club, what would be the top of your list to do? Well, you're trying to draw me out here, because the manager, alarm bells would be ringing. I would spend a lot of money on the team, depending on where Arteta finishes. I've said many times, if he missed out on top 4, I'd sack him. If he gets top 4, he's probably earned more time. But I would spend big money on the team. I would get rid of Edu and go and get Michael Edwards. He's leaving Liverpool. Best technical or sporting director in the league. I think Newcastle are trying to get him. So I would definitely get Michael Edwards in and get rid of Edu and deal with the recruitment. And I would go for top quality players. I mean, real top quality, but you need money. LT Gaming said Saliba staying here next season. Let's talk about that shortly as well. Edwards is going Madrid. All the top teams will be in for him. He's elite. Jay Dizzle said, late to the stream, I need to tell my boss we can't be having meetings between 2 and 4. Hey, members stream at 4 o'clock today. Get yourself on here as well. Pepe, as a player, 9 out of 10, what we've seen for. Yeah, we haven't seen half of what he did in the French league. Let's move on, people. Let's talk about a striker that we haven't spoken about that much, but one that we're going to speak about today. I've turned up with the Photoshop picture that I found online. Would you like to see this happen? Quite simple. Ivan Toney linked with Arsenal today in a potential £50 million move. Now, Ivan Toney, we're going to get into the details of him and kind of break him down. Get your thoughts and feelings on whether this is a guy that we should be going for. Now, Ivan Toney is 26 years of age. 26 years of age, Brentford striker. Having a good season in the Premier League, 12 goals in the league, 14 in all comps, and 4 assists. So he's having a decent season. Now, something that I found unbelievable with Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney earns £21,000 a week. £21,000 a week. Absolute peanuts. He's still on the contract that he signed when Brentford were in the Championship. He's in talks, apparently, about a new bumper deal. Now, let's get the first poll up of the day. Apparently, clubs will be looking to pay around 30 million. You're not going to get him for 30 million. It's believed Brentford would want around 50 million pounds for him. So I'm going to put a poll up. Would you take Ivan Toney for 50 million pounds? Now, I've got to admit, I think 50 million is too much. I don't think he's done enough to be worth 50 million. I do like him, but that price is a bit steep for me. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Would you take Ivan Toney for 50 million pounds? There you go. First poll of the day, people. But 21k a week. What have you got to offer him? 60k? Treble him up? He's going to take that all day long. This is a guy that's come through the hard way as well. Got that big money move to Newcastle. Didn't work out. Fell down the leagues. Had to revitalise his career. Ended up at Peterborough. Ripped up the lower leagues. Went to Brentford. Ripped it up. Broke the record. I think it's just been broken in the Championship by Mitrovic. And he's having a good season. He's got as many league goals as Harry Kane, people. Now, this is where you got to be realistic. I'm going to be honest with you here, people. I'm going to try and figure this out. Sometimes I think in football, when we know a player, when he's in our league, when he doesn't have a glamorous name, we sometimes look down our nose at them. You go, Ivan Toney, Brentford. Most of you here are saying I'd pay 20, 30 million for him. Now, you're not going to get him for 20, 30 million because you look at Watkins cost 30 odd million from the Championship. Ivan Toney scored more than him at Brentford. They're gonna ask for 50 million for him, standard. He's got 12 goals in the Prem this year, as many goals as Harry Kane in the league. Now, we're talking about spending 75 million on Isaac, who's got 6 goals in the league. If his name was Ivandro Tonino from Italy and, you know, he'd scored 12 goals in Serie A, we'd probably be going, yep, 50 million. I've seen this guy on YouTube. He looks unbelievable. Now, I'm not saying Ivan Toney is the answer, and I'm not saying he's worth 50 million. But you've got no chance of getting him for 30 million. He's Brentford's best player. You know, they'll get relegated probably if they sold him for 30 million. Tonino, I'm telling you, Ivandro Tonino, he's going to cost 50 million. But Ivan Toney from Brentford, who used to play for Peterborough, no one don't want him. Man are like, nah, I don't want him. Plays for Brentford, I don't want him. Nah, he's been in the Championship. I think sometimes we have to not be so snobby, but I get it. 50 mil, I wouldn't really go for him either. Man saying he's a beefed up Eddie and Ketty. No, man, he's better than Eddie. I can't lie. He's better than Eddie. Yes, sir, said 50 mil for a beefed up Eddie. Bro, he ain't better than Isaac. Well, he's scoring more goals than him in a better league or a more difficult league. Tehran said we pay 50 million for Ben White. And you know what? That is a great point. And let me tell you now, Ben White ain't nothing special. Do you know what I mean? He ain't nothing special. His name's Tonino from now on. Ivan did not have a great season to cost 30 million. 12 goals in a newly promoted team in the Prem. Probably going to end up with what? If he gets 15 goals in the Prem, he's already got 4 assists. I think that's a good season at Brentford. Brentford are not world beaters, by the way. Somebody will buy him. I'm thinking if you're signing Jesus and you get another striker like him, I just think for 50 million, maybe you could get someone better, you know. Like I said, I would take Origi. I think Origi gets them numbers if you play him every week, and he's a free agent. Tim said Zaha and Basuma incoming. I'd take both of them. I'm still kind of caught up on the Zaha hype train. I know it's probably too late to sign him now. Basuma I would love to sign. Sandiso said, big up Big C, enjoying you all the way from South Africa. Always, brother. Hope you're well. Thank you very much for tuning in. 6 times says Nunes is the one. I have to admit, I like Nunes' aggression, his goal-scoring ability. Even when he played against Liverpool, he didn't really trouble Van Dijk that much, but he had enough aggression to have a go at him. And he got the goal. The goal was Konaté's mistake, I know, but I just like the way he played against Liverpool. Jordan said 50 million is nothing in today's market. Let's be real, this isn't 5 years ago. Yeah, 50 million is probably 25, 30 million. From before, you know. Curtly Zaha is a dive merchant. It's harsh. He's having a good season, to be fair. The moment Origi leaves Liverpool is when they fall back to mediocrity. Origi is their lucky charm. I think, listen, I know they can't keep him because he wants to play. He wants to get into that Belgium squad. But I think he's a proper clutch baller. And I think he'll do well if he picks the right club. I want Jesus and Jonathan David. I think Jonathan David you could probably get for cheaper than 50 million. Ivan Toney equals Torre Andre Flo. He was an old school G at Chelsea, wasn't he? Jesus and Origi should be our targets. Get Jesus and Rafinha and sell Pepe. Connor said Nunes is not good, scores some goals, but 50% passing accuracy in the league and the Champions League would be frustrating. I've heard he's not good at retaining the ball and his link-up play is not elite. HICM said, forget Zaha, his ship has long sailed. Gabriel Gakpo, a lot of people want Gakpo. Sharguna said, big up Curtis, nice, cool, clean haircut from Singapore. Big up, big up. David has 1 goal in 2022. Stay away. Wow. See, it goes mad. Origi all the way. Corner taken quickly. Origi. I'm telling you, man. I've said it for a long time. Nah, listen, I agree with you, Tom. I think he's probably agreed a contract with Milan already. Ray Kwan, thank you for the super chat, said Zaha and Toney would be perfect for this side. Veteran player and a hungry player. The Zaha thing, I think, is long gone. Zaha will probably end up retiring at Palace. I think he's missed it for his moves. I don't know who would sign him. Maybe he goes to Newcastle and gets big money. I don't know. But Ivan Toney, let's have a look at the poll. 68% of you saying no, you wouldn't take him. 32% say yeah. Listen, for me, I think it's more the price will put people off. I don't think Ivan Toney is a £50 million player at this stage. I think he ends up maybe at a Newcastle, someone like that rather than at Arsenal. I think people would look at it as a risk. And like I said, I think there is a little bit of snobbery when a player's in the Prem with a basic, not flashy name, because people will pay 50 million if you have a decent season in another league. Maybe he hasn't quite scored enough, but if he ends the season with 15 goals at a newly promoted team, I think he's done well. A lot of people saying he's a penalty merchant, though. But we'll have to see. Toney is worth 35 mil max. Curtis, who's better, Origi or Tammy? Imagine Origi in Italy. I mean, listen, at the moment, Tammy is a machine in Italy, but I'm still not convinced he's worth them kind of numbers they're asking for him. Akara said Michael Edwards would go for Toney. Facts. Michael Edwards, man, I would definitely get him in, that is for sure, but they love Edu. Big up Daniel Bailey TV said, what about Mitrovic? I don't know about Mitrovic. Mitrovic scores. He's like the Aguero, the Harry Kane, the Benzema of the Championship. Comes to the Premier, he doesn't even get 10 goals. And this is what I'm saying. It's not easy to come from the Championship to the Prem. If Toney ends up with 15 league goals, I think that's a very good season. Man was dissing his own club. Hey, let it be, man. Kevin Campbell wants Tammy Abraham. The thing with Tammy, the problem with Tammy is Jose wants 50 million. 80 million, in fact. He wants 80 million for him. I'm not paying 80 million for Tammy Abraham. Would you sign Luis Suarez on a free? No chance. No chance. That ship has long gone. We should have signed him 40 million and a pound settings, but I ain't buying him at this stage. That is for sure. It would be so typical of Arsenal, wouldn't it, to sign Luis Suarez when he's washed up and old, when we should have signed him a long, long time ago. So, anyway, let's move on. I want to talk about man like William Saliba. And finally, we've had some good news on the Saliba front. How true this is, I don't know. You never know what to believe. But reports coming out today regarding William Saliba wanting to stay. I'm not leaving, he said. Leonardo DiCaprio settings. William Saliba wants to return to Arsenal this summer and plans to fight in place. Sources close to the player have indicated. Now, you can read the full report on Team Talk. Go and have a look if you want to get more details, but I've wrote some of the notes from it. So apparently, William Saliba has been learning English for the past 4 months. He has a tutor over there in Marseille, sits down a couple of days a week to learn English. Clearly, he's planning on coming back. Also, said he wants to prove himself in the Premier League. The fact that he joined Arsenal at 18 years of age, clearly he had some sort of interest in playing in England. I think he would be pretty hurt to just say, I joined Arsenal, I spent a few years there, I didn't kick a ball, and I left. I think Saliba will come back. It says they're going to have a meeting in the coming weeks to discuss his role next season at the club. Arteta better not mess that meeting up. Don't tell him, oh, we're going to play Ben White and Gabriel and, they're ahead of you. Just say, listen, you're both three very good centre-backs. Sometimes I may play three at the back and sometimes I'll play two of you. You've got to go to battle. Rav said he's learning English so he can tell Arteta where to go. Man's learning English to leave Arsenal in English. Man said, Arteta, I've learned English to tell you that I'm never going to play for you again. But no, all jokes aside, hopefully he comes back. Arsenal apparently planning on offering him a new contract, and they want to bring him back. I want to see this guy back. I think he's a talent. I think he's an exciting young centre-back. He's quick. He's had a very good season in France. He'll be playing in the Europa Conference League, is it? I think he's in the semi-final. And he's had a great season. He's in the French squad as well. He is a determined athlete. Have you seen his physique lately? He looks strong. He looks quick. Let's go, Willow. He's coming back with that hunger. He needs to prove himself. As a lot of you were saying in the comments, the guy in front of him, I mean, we have a lot of debate about this guy. A lot of people say bad egg, bad attitude, believed his own hype too quick. I think he just needed a strong manager to put his arm around him and say, listen, bro, get your head down and focus. I think we fumbled the bag with Guendouzi. Some people think different. But I think, a guy for a French international, 22 years of age, the question I always ask If you went to Marseille next summer to buy Guendouzi, how much would Guendouzi cost at 22 years of age in the French squad? He would cost at least 30 million, and I mean at least. We've sold him for 9 million. So for me, it's not just the fact that Guendouzi's been sold. It's the fact we sold him for absolute peanuts. And he's better than Sambi Lokonga. You know, that's my issue. You don't sell Guendouzi for 9 million and buy Lokonga for 17. He's better than him. You could have kept him. You could have put your arm around him. You know, so I do think there are a number of players. Listen, for all the good stuff that Arteta's done right, and he deserves credit for what's happening, I think Guendouzi, we either should have kept him or sold him for proper money. We shouldn't have agreed a 9 million deal before the season. He had a great season. We could have got more for him. You know, the Aubameyang situation, I think, could have been handled better. Some people disagree. You know, you look at Pepe. Have we fumbled that one? Hasn't played since November, started. You're going to sell him for the bare minimum. So these are situations that Arteta needs to learn from. I think more experienced managers would have handled those situations better. So I hope he learns from his mistakes, and hopefully Saliba comes back and does the business. I'm really excited to see him come back. I hope we don't put too much pressure on him, because I do think the expectations from the fan base will be very high. And, you know, I think he will make mistakes. Young centre-backs will make mistakes in the Prem, but I think he's got bags and bags of potential. And then said, yo, Big C, I commented yesterday, I'll repeat again. Big up, bro, big up. Emery, Torreira, etc. These are Unai's players. Arteta has every right to go for players that suit his process, yeah? I just look at Saliba, though, and I think, how can he not fit into a system? He's young, he's quick, he's strong, he's tall, he can pass the ball. What do we not need? Like, what more do you need from him? You're meant to be a very good coach. Get him on the training ground and coach him. Gio said Guendouzi would cost 40 million, that French team tax. He would. He genuinely would, people. You know, from Marseille, they don't sell players cheap. He's in the French league. He'd cost 40 million, 40 million. Planting Partey all day. Sold Willock for more than Guendouzi. One is flopping at Newcastle, one's in the French squad. I have to admit, not the Guendouzi, the Joe Willock deal is a deal that I applaud. I applaud two deals at Arsenal. Joe Willock for 25 million. That was a loan hype. He's not that good. And the other one, the best deal we've ever done, is Alex Iwobi. Honestly, they should have sent police to Arsenal, because we robbed Everton in 4K, people. How we got 35 million for Alex Iwobi, I will never know. They're the two deals I look at and I go, that is the level. But we just don't do that often enough. You know, we fumbled Sanchez, Ozil, Ramsey, all these players that we should have got money for. Well, Alex Iwobi is the pinnacle of selling players. You know, that is daylight robbery. He might be in the Championship next year, but them two deals were good. Probably Oxlade-Chamberlain was good in the end, because unfortunately for him, he got injured after about a year, and he's never looked the same player since. E. Ross said, Saliba or Guendouzi, how can they not fit in his system? Sick of the system talk. You're a good manager. You can play anyone in your system. That's great. Listen, I think with Guendouzi, he looks like an adaptable player. I think he's energetic. He's good on the ball. He keeps the ball well. I think Saliba gets on the ball. I just think the problem was he was inexperienced. He's still inexperienced, Arteta. But he was fresh at that time. And I think any player that caused any problem for him, his answer was, get rid of them. Get rid of him. He's causing me a problem, get rid of him. Oh, Ozil's doing stuff, talking about, you know, the treatment of Muslims, and he cost Arsenal money with sponsorships. A strong manager might have stood by Mesut Ozil and said, you know what, you've got every right to speak on that. Mesut Ozil was looked upon as a problem by Arteta. Let's face it, he wasn't performing on the pitch either. So Arteta says, get rid of him. Probably was right to get rid of Ozil, to be honest. Guendouzi starts making a bit of noise, and, you know, he took his shirt off in a nightclub in Dubai. Arteta just said, get rid of him. Now, I think an Arsene Wenger puts his arm around Guendouzi and says, listen, you've got bags of talent. Get your head down. Focus. I can turn you into a superstar. You know, equally, maybe with the Aubameyang situation, maybe with Pepe. I think Pepe would have balled out under Arsene Wenger. I think Guendouzi would have balled out under Arsene Wenger as well, you know? So it's different managers, different personalities. I think because Arteta's learnt from Pep, and Pep is very strict, and he's seen that blueprint work, I think he's taken that on board himself and said, I'm going to try and do what Pep does. Arsene Wenger was a lot more laid back, so Iwobi should have been 3.5 million. Admin error. Yeah, maybe the dot was in the wrong place. It was hot in Dubai. Yeah, man said, yo, I'm just taking my shirt off, man. It's hot. In 2 years, we will have the benefit of hindsight. Yeah, maybe. The solution is clueless. Shaib, not the biggest fan of Mr. Mikel Arteta. Big C, I've said it many times. Arteta and Edu had a plan for Saliba, and he has done exactly what they expected of him, so why would they sell him? Well, I hope you're right. Gunnar Down Under, thank you very much for your very kind donation. Appreciate the support. Lacazette sacrificed a lot of his game for our playing style. Brings back lines up whilst our wide players break in behind. We need a false nine, someone who can do that and also go at players if need be on his own through counter. Nunez and Osimhen. Now, I'll tell you the problem. I agree with what you're saying about Lacazette. There's two problems with that. Firmino's played that role at Liverpool. The difference is Liverpool's goals come from their two wide players. So Mane and Salah will get you 20 goals each, maybe 25. Jota will get you 20 goals as well. Diaz will probably score 20 goals next year in a full season. So their false nine only needs to chip in with 7, 8, 9 goals, get assists, hold the ball up, link up play. We've got two wide players who are young in Martinelli and Saka or Smith Rowe. They'll get you 10, 12, 13 goals. So when Laka's doing all that hard work and sacrificing himself for the team, we actually need a striker that can get 15 to 20 league goals a season because we don't have 20 goal a season wingers. So I hear what you're saying and you're right, but we're not in the same situation as Liverpool. So I actually think we need to get away from the false nine and play with a natural striker. If you've looked at Eddie in the last two games, Eddie's played like a striker, not a false nine. He's not dropping back. He's staying high. He's staying on the last defender. And I think we look a better attacking team. We just need, obviously, a better player than Eddie Nketiah. I think the false nine thing works if your wingers score goals. Our wingers don't score enough goals. They're young. They're developing. To have a false nine, you need wingers that are unbelievable in front of goal. So that's the problem. And you look at it and you think, if Eddie's allowed to play like that, why does he not let Lacazette play like that? Why does he make Laka drop so deep, but he doesn't ask that of Eddie? But big up to Gunnar Down Under. Appreciate the support. Only Liverpool have 20 goal a season wingers. I think City at times. I think Sterling. Maybe not this season. I'm pretty sure Mahrez has scored quite a lot this season as well. Let's have a look. Riyad Mahrez. Yeah, Mahrez has got 19 goals in all competition this season. Not sure how many of them are in the league. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Liverpool's ones are the main ones. City is competing without 20 goal. The thing with them, Mahrez will get you 10 to 15. Sterling will get 10 to 15. Bernardo will. Foden will. De Bruyne will. They've got probably 5 players that will hit double figures, so they spread them all around the team. Mahrez has 11 in the league, fair enough. Our wingers create chances of movement rather than score. Harry Kane can do all the things that you said, but there aren't many. And we wouldn't get Kane, let's be honest. 1.8 in the chat. Amazing support. Thank you very much for the amazing support. Even last night on the watch-along was absolutely brilliant interaction. Make sure you follow on Twitch. Subscribe as well on here and smash a like on the video. Much appreciated. Pushpa said, Gabriel Jesus, 5 goals in 2 matches. I always say you got to be careful because you find people that when players are looking for a move, looking for a new deal, all of a sudden they just go into 5th gear. It's like being in your car and you're in 4th. All of a sudden they go into 5th, turn the heat up a little bit. You look at El Neni, out of contract, come in, all of a sudden he looks brilliant. Eddie Nketiah out of contract, looking lively. Lacazette was, a couple of months ago, people were raving about him. Oh, we don't need Aubameyang. Look at Lacazette's hard work. Sometimes you got to be careful, with throwing out contracts to people. Just because they're in decent form. I think Go on what they've done over a long period of time rather than a short-term burst of form. Crazy Cliff, I saw your tweet that you sent. I will talk about this just quickly, people. Another striker link. I think this is one now that the interest is diminishing slightly. I have to admit, for me, this is somebody I wouldn't really be going after. If Everton get relegated and he's going for dirt cheap, then maybe we'll have a conversation. But for me, not really interested. Dominic Calvert-Lewin favours a move to Arsenal over Newcastle. Has even told friends his preferred destination is a move to Arsenal. Calvert-Lewin is likely to leave whether they stay up or not. For me, he's way at the bottom of the list for me, Calvert-Lewin. He's had a poor season. He's been injured so much this season. He had a good season last year, but I just don't. I don't want him. I don't want him. I think he's a half decent hold-up man. He's only played 13 games this season, 11 starts. Not enough football. He's an injury-prone player. He's 25. Why is he getting so many muscular injuries at this age? I don't want him. I got to be honest. I don't want him. He's good, but only in the air. If he'd had a good season this year and got 15 to 20 goals, then we could talk. But 11 starts, nah, not for me. Injury prone, not for us. He can wish all he wants. Yeah, you can tell your friends that you favour a move to Arsenal, but that don't mean nothing to me. I hope Arteta don't get gassed because he's a former Everton player and let me go and buy an Everton player. Nah, leave him. Let someone else buy him. Let him go to Newcastle. Like I said, he was decent last year, but not this year. Big up, Cliff. I appreciate you sending me that, bro. I had seen it, but I appreciate you bringing it to my attention. Toney, yeah, I'd take Toney over Calvert-Lewin because, like I said, people, availability is the best ability. Doesn't matter how good a footballer you are. If you're not available on a regular basis, you're no good to anyone. Which is what I keep saying with Kieran Tierney. We need to sign another left-back to challenge him. Dominic said if we fall into the Europa League, Calvert-Lewin would be a decent option. I mean, let's hope we're not in that situation. Let's hope we're in the Champions League. Toney is a better version of Calvert-Lewin. Doesn't seem to get injured often, Ivan Toney. I'd still take him, but not his fashion, said Joshua. Well, you're not feeling his pink handbag, no? Nah, listen, whatever you need to. I'm more interested in what the brother does on the pitch, If Everton go down, get Richarlison. Would you take Richarlison, people? That's an interesting one. I mean, I was looking at something with Richarlison. I think that came up today, actually. But Richarlison, for me, I just think his attitude. He's very petulant. I don't like how he handles himself on the pitch. I think, I just don't think Arteta could handle him. I just don't see how it would work. There is a quick story about him, actually. Dean Jones has written a story today saying that Arsenal have been offered the chance to sign Richarlison. But I wouldn't go for him either. I wouldn't go for him. You talk about a dressing room and dynamics and how everyone's getting on. Richarlison ain't someone that I'd want to put in the Arsenal dressing room. Not with these young players, man. He'd turn that dressing room upside down. FBM said I'd take Anthony Gordon. Is there any Everton players you would take if they got relegated? Because they do have some decent players. Would you take Decore as a squad player? Would you take Allen as a squad player? I know Decore's 28. I know Allen's about 30. Would you take Anthony Gordon as a young player? Would you take... Who else have they got? Obviously, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin. Would you take Godfrey? Straight or else I can ask you a quick question. Fire away. Decore, I think, and Anthony Gordon would be decent options. Decore as a squad player wouldn't be a bad one. Richarlison is chilled off field. Richarlison, the B-Tech Neymar. Gordon has big potential. Iwobi, nah, no chance. No chance. Damari Gray, would I take Damari Gray? Not for me. I think, I look at Damari Gray, I think you got Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Saka. I'd like us to sign a fourth winger, but I'd like to get a higher one, a Gnabry, Sterling, someone like that. Probably not Damari Gray. Gordon and Decore. Dele Alli, no chance. Godfrey is a powerhouse, He's not bad. He's better than Rob Holding, I tell you that. D. Guna said, big up, Big C. How are you, Curtis and C Unit? Everything good, bro? Everything good. Maguire said, Curtis, putting you on a spot again. If you're the manager with the current players we have, who will start for you against West Ham? I would play the same team that played against Man United. The only change I would make, I'd bring Tomiyasu in. And in fact, I would bring Martinelli in as well. I'd bring Martinelli and Tomiyasu in. And I'd take out Smith Rowe and I'd take out Cedric. I would take out Cedric at right back. I think you got to get Tomiyasu back in the team. So I'd bring Tomiyasu in. I'd bring Martinelli in. I'd take Cedric out. I'd take Smith Rowe out. The rest of the team would be the same. My only concern where I'm a little bit 50-50 is Jared Bowen plays right wing. Could Nuno Tavares handle him in a 4? Or would I move Cedric to left back? I just think if you drop Tavares, you're going to destroy his confidence. And Cedric played poor anyway. So I would actually stick with Tavares. I would stick with him. But I tell Martinelli, you've got to help him. You've got to get back and help him because Jared Bowen is a problem. So they're the two changes. Yeah, I would stick with him because, listen, I know you could go Cedric there, but I just think you're completely destroying Tavares' confidence if you drop him. And Cedric was poor anyway. Cedric was poor as well. Could Tomiyasu play left back? I don't know. I think Martinelli could double up on Jared Bowen and maybe we make it work. It would be a risk, but Cedric is a risk as well. They're both risks. Do you rate Dennis from Watford? He's all right. Bowen might not even start. I'm hoping on Thursday they have a tough game against Eintracht Frankfurt. They're shattered. They've got another game next week, and I'm hoping David Moyes turns up and rests a couple of these, man, because their squad is down to the bare bones. They might not have any centre-backs. They're even saying Declan Rice might be playing centre-back. I'm hoping to see Antonio and Jared Bowen get benched, you know. Theo said, Curtis, have you seen Piers Morgan trying to get Ronaldo to sign for us? Piers Morgan's funny, man. He said he spoke to Ronaldo last week and he was saying, come to Arsenal if United don't get top 4. I think he will leave United, but I don't think he'd come to Arsenal. And Arsenal wouldn't pay him $500,000 a week. I would actually love that deal for a year, 2 years, but it wouldn't happen. Big C, would you sell Nelson in the next window? I would. Unless he's turned into a world beater this season, I would get rid of him. I don't think he's developed. And if you could get good money for him, I'd sell him. If not, maybe even loan him out again. I think we need another winger that's more experienced, that scores more goals. If you're going into the Champions League, I think you need a winger that can bang goals. Vishal said, Curtis, since we need a tall, lanky striker, what do you think about Vigors from Burnley? I'm not sure. Is he just a straight up and down target, man? I haven't seen enough of him, to be honest. I know he's a giant. He's massive. Graham Caldwell, Curtis, I don't think the likes of Antonio and Bowen will start. We need to help West Ham get a good score on Thursday. They will focus on the second leg. I actually think it's better if the game is tight. If they beat Frankfurt 2 or 3-0, he might think, I can play them. I think if it's like 1-1, 2-1, and he's thinking, yo, I've got to go full strength next week away in Germany, then I think he's more likely to rest these men against Arsenal, you know. Yasin said Vigors is too slow. Rangers right back to Vernier. Not the biggest fan of him. Not the biggest fan. Nick said Ronaldo tweets and merch sales. The Kroenkes would love it. He'd make us a fortune. Big C, would you take Fernandinho for 1 year? No, I wouldn't. I think his legs have gone now. And the way Vinicius Jr. nutmegged him last night, I mean, nah. That Vinicius Jr. goal last night, it just felt like prime Thierry Henry. Turning someone on the halfway line, running half the pitch, opening your body up and just doing that side foot finish. And then Benzema with the Panenka penalty, man. It was all mad. It was absolutely mad. Seb said, big up Big C, great stream last night. Tommy can play on the left. Yeah, I'm sure he could. People, I'm out of here. We've been on for an hour. Thank you very much for your great interaction as always. I'll be back on at 4 o'clock members stream. I'll put the link on the community page in the next 5 minutes. So if you want to come on and have your say, join me for that. Hopefully we'll do the watch along tonight. As long as I get back on time, keep your notifications on. I am out at football. If I get back before 8 o'clock, we'll do that watch along. Unai Emery against Liverpool, massive game. I have to admit, last night's game, is the best game I've seen in probably 2 years. Unbelievable. And for Arsenal to reach that level, we need to spend big, big money. That is for sure, because we are not at that level. Not even close. Big up to everyone for tuning in. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow on Twitch as well. 4 o'clock member stream. Should be doing the watch along tonight. And I hope to see you all later today. Enjoy the rest of your day, people, and I will see you soon. Bless.